Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm pretty excited to show you this 2022 Porsche Macan GTS. So I haven't reviewed a Porsche SUV on the channel before. I have driven a Macan S and a base Macan as well, but never for a YouTube video, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys this. So this one, I don't have the window sticker to it, so I'm not sure on all like the little miscellaneous options. I know Porsche is kind of like, you know, they have so many little miscellaneous options, but I'll just kind of point out what I see. So it does have LED headlights with that kind of spider look. I don't know what they call that, but super huge air vents in the front for tons of cooling. Got the adaptive cruise control, 360 camera, front parking sensors. This is a nice color, it's silver. It's got these nice 21-inch wheels, and I apologize for the airplane noises. Has a really nice side profile. And by the way, guys, I have driven an X3 M40 and then also a X4 M40. And I'll kind of compare how those cars drive versus how this one drives. This is obviously a little bit of a league up. I'd say the GTS is kind of like slightly above the X3 M40, not as high as obviously the X3M. You can see Macan GTS, it has the white back, the white taillights instead of the red, which is pretty cool looking. These nice quad exhaust tips that do sound pretty good. It has a little exhaust button. It's got the panoramic sunroof. Overall, a really nice looking car. It's got the red brake calipers and everything. All right, hopping inside. Obviously, it has keyless access. You just walk up and open the door. And this one has the black leather interior. You got this nice material up here. It's not leather, but it's like, you know, it's still a nice material. He's got a fairly soft touch down here. This nice little trim. Tons of buttons for like your window controls, mirrors, they automatically fold. You also have like the trunk button over here, memory seats. No upgraded pedals, which is kind of weird. You'd expect this car to have like a shiny like pedal kit, but it's kind of weird. And then you got your seat controls there. It does have a thigh extender, lumbar, all that good stuff. These seats are pretty comfortable and they look really nice. You have the GTS logo there. Some nice high quality leather. Let's go ahead and hop in here. All right, so looking at the steering wheel, it has this really nice Porsche steering wheel. I love the way these steering wheels are. It has a decent thickness, it looks nice. The only thing I wish it had is a leather stitched horn button, because this horn button doesn't look as nice. It feels okay. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic, but I wish it had a leather stitched horn button. That's the only thing. It's got automatic up down for all four windows, as you'd expect in a car like this. It's got this big digital display here, or this big infotainment screen. You can go through a few different settings here. Seems to be pretty decently responsive. You guys can see there. So not bad at all, right? I'll just leave it on that screen for now. You got some buttons down here. They're kind of like capacitive touch buttons. Not my favorite, but they work. Sound system seems pretty good as well. It has the Bose sound system. I don't know if you guys can see the little logo in there. Looking down here, we have dual zone climate control, and you have dual zone fan control, which is kind of cool. So I can adjust my fan up and down. Passenger can be separate. AC, obviously all that stuff. You can sync them together, right? You have all your different zones down here. You have heated and ventilated seats, which is pretty cool. I'll turn on the ventilated seats. Then down here, these are some cool buttons. So you have your suspension modes. You have, this one does have air suspension, so we'll test that out later as well. Traction control, and then your exhaust button. That one I always leave on. And then over here, let's see what this off-road does. Oh, it raised the RPMs. Looks like it's doing something with the suspension. Oh, it's raising it up. All right, well, that's pretty cool. So it has that button as well. A little storage pocket. I have the key here. As you guys can tell, Porsches, they make the key kind of look like a car, which is kind of cool. You got a little bit of storage in here. 2 USB-Cs. Passenger seat looks really nice. You can adjust this as well, so you can move this around. Glove box, lined in felt. Pretty decent amount of storage space in there as well. It's got an LED light. Then up here, we got a bunch of different buttons to turn on the lights and stuff in the car. Parking assistance button here. Garage door opener on this side. What does this do? Not sure what that does. And then we have this panoramic roof, so let's check that out. Okay, it's actually opening up the whole sunroof. I didn't mean to do that, but let's see how far back it goes. All right, let's do one more. Okay, so that's how far back it goes, which is pretty big. Like, this is a lot of like open space if you guys are like sunroof kind of people. I definitely am not a sunroof kind of guy. And then let's talk about how I fit in here. So if you guys don't know, I'm 6'6", right? So for me, interior space is really important. You know, I can fit in some smaller vehicles, but this one actually feels pretty good. Like, I have the seat not all the way back. You know, I have a nice driving position. I can see the gauges clearly. It actually feels pretty nice in here. And like, this isn't too close to my, like I do kind of rub up against it a little bit, but it's not bad. It's somewhat soft. It's a little padded. So overall, the interior is not bad, but let's check out the back seat. I know the Macan kind of struggles in the back seat space, but let's check out the back and the trunk, also under the hood, and then we'll take this baby for a spin. All right, checking out the back. Oh, probably should open the door. Okay. So just like what I thought, guys, the back seat is definitely not that spacious, but I'm gonna move the seat up a little bit just so that I can give it a fair shot, you know, for people that are shorter than me. Guys, so I moved the passenger seat up a little bit. You can see that's probably someone that's like maybe like 5'8", 5'9" would sit right there. And then let's see how the back seat space is. Okay. It's not horrible. I mean, it is kind of tight, honestly. But if you're like, let's say you're 5'9" sitting in the front and then 5'9" sitting in the back, you'll be fine. And then you got some AC vents back here. You can move the temperature up and down, which is pretty cool. You got heated seats, 2 USB-Cs. So the backseat passengers do have some amenities. Let's see what we got over here. Okay, we got a nice armrest. Does this open up? No, it doesn't. But the headroom is really tight. With the roof line, my head is like right up in this ceiling right here. So the headroom is really tight. You have to like slouch in the seat, and then it messes up your leg room. So the back seat is definitely not all that practical in these Macans unless you're really short. Alrighty, opening up the trunk. It's got a pretty decent bit of space in here. It's got this cool cargo cover. Looks like it has a sunshade and all that stuff included, which is pretty nice. Looks like you can raise the suspension in the back for easier loading. We got a light over here, another light, and then we have this cargo cover, so that's pretty nice as well. I'd say the backseat space, compared to like a X3 M40, the backseat space is a little bit worse. The trunk space is also a little worse because the X3 M40 isn't so like slanted. This is more like a X4 as far as like the way the roof line is, but nonetheless, pretty nice. All right, guys, just pop the hood. One thing that's kind of interesting about Porsches is that the cutouts for the headlights actually go up with the hood, so that's kind of weird, but nonetheless, this is a 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6, and this one puts out 434 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, and it's routed through the PDK dual clutch automatic. So I'm really excited to see how this performs in this vehicle. All right, guys, now for my favorite part, let's take this car for a drive. And this car is for sale. If you guys are in the Las Vegas area or you don't mind traveling, this car is for sale. I'll leave my info in the description below if you guys want to get a great deal on this vehicle. So let's take off here. Like I mentioned earlier, I do love this steering wheel. The steering wheel feels pretty nice. Nice and easy. Everything's in like the comfort mode right now. I do have the exhaust open because we always got to leave that open. You can hear like this definitely has a louder exhaust than the X3 M40. The X3 M40 wasn't bad, but this has a louder exhaust for sure, I think. Yeah, this definitely has a louder exhaust. That's pretty cool, actually. All right, so one thing I've noticed about Volkswagen Audi group, which obviously Porsche is included, is that in the comfort mode and you're just taking off from a standstill, it's really laggy and slow. Let's see if this is the same way. So not bad. It doesn't feel as torquey as the X3 M40, but it gets up and moves. It's not bad. Like I said, in just the comfort mode. Obviously, if you're in the all-out mode, then it'll take off quicker. All right, let's make a U-turn here and see how the turning radius is on this car. If it can make it in this circle, then it has good turning radius. Okay, yeah, the turning radius is great. It made it. It does feel weird driving the dual clutch. It's not as smooth as the 8-speed auto, but it does shift really nice. All right, so let's try a launch control. So let me put us in Sport Plus, and then let me make sure the traction is off. Okay, here we go. Boom. Wait. Do I have to hold it? Okay, there we go. Now it's off. All right, so we're gonna try a launch control because Porsches are really good with their launch control, so let's see. Wow. Okay. It launches pretty hard. All right. That's pretty impressive. It has a little bit of a delay when you let go of the brake in typical dual clutch fashion. That's how my RS3 and both my Golf R as well felt. It's definitely quicker in the Sport Plus. The trans is good though. It does have, the gears seem a little long, but I love the exhaust though. Like the exhaust is really impressive for an SUV. And then since it's a dual clutch, let's test out the manual. So let me go to manual mode here. All right, we gotta watch out for that escape. All right, let's go to manual mode. Let's see. I guess you just use the paddles. Okay, there we go, now we're in manual. All right, second. Let's see how the response time is. Okay, that downshift was good. Wow, that downshift was really good too. Oh wow, little pops. The pops are nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's see how the speed is when you're just already going. Or I'll just leave everything in automatic mode here. So let's see. Okay, everything's in automatic mode. Okay. Honestly, that is very respectful. That gets up and moves pretty good. It feels similar to the X3 M40, but the top end feels a little quicker. Like the X3 M40, when you floor it, it feels kind of similar to this, but this feels like it has slightly better top end, which would make sense. It does make more power. And I think they're similar in weight. Wow, okay. Let's try this again. We're going like 34. Honestly, the exhaust is like the most impressive thing. Like, I would not expect a factory exhaust to sound this good. All right, we got to watch out here. And by the way, we're in Sport Plus everything, obviously. I wonder if this, oh yeah, suspension's in Sport too. You can see the little lights illuminated there. It made a little DSG fart. I mean, in this case, it'd be a PDK fart. That's funny. Let's see how the handling is. Ooh, very solid for an SUV. All right, here we go. We're going 50. That is very solid. Okay, so I got to really wind it out there. It feels a little quicker than an X3 M40. I know if you look at the numbers online, you'll see that this is supposed to be like a lot quicker, but it doesn't feel that much faster than an X3 M40. Maybe a little bit. I haven't driven the GLC 43, so I don't know how that does in comparison to this. All right, low speed, here we go. Okay, stayed in second. The exhaust is impressive. It did like a little pop. This is a fun car, guys. Downshifts are great. So like this is like a 40-mile-an-hour roll. Yeah, I'm impressed with this. Very impressed. It drives great. Let's see how the braking is. Oh, wow, okay. The brakes are good too. And then the brakes. Oh wow, downshifts, okay. This car is solid. It is a solid performance SUV. Very, very impressive. All right, well, we're heading back. Like I said, this vehicle is available. If you guys are interested, I'll leave my contact info in the description. Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.